So what is up, guys? It's your boy, the boy, DilzOnline, aka the Black Gary. Okay, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking about how you guys can prepare for Generation 2. I've seen a few guys do this video. I've been meaning to do it for the longest period of time. I didn't get around to doing it. I've seen a few guys lie in their videos saying certain Pokemon are strong when they're not really strong, so don't take certain man's words. So I want to make up my own video, put my twist on it, my own spin on it as well, because there's a few Pokemon you can catch in Generation 1 right now, which will help you get Pokemon in Generation 2 and help you complete it a bit faster. So using Niantic's calculations for Pokemon stats in Generation 1, I have mathematically calculated which Pokemon will be good in Generation 2 as well, assuming Niantic keep the exact same calculation for Pokemon stats that they did in Generation 1 that they will do for Generation 2. So I can tell you right now which Pokemon will be strong, so I may make a separate video for that, but the Pokemon I mentioned here, I will let you know whether they'll be strong in Generation 2. Because I'll be mentioning 17 Pokemon from Generation 2 where you can catch their pre-evolutions in Generation 1. So some of those 17 Pokemon, I'll be letting you guys know whether they will be good or not. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this video, baby. So before we get into this video, guys, it'd be much appreciated if you could drop a like, because a lot of research did go into this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Zubat. Zubat has the evolved form Crobat in Generation 2. So it goes Zubat, Golbat, then Crobat. So I'd advise saving Zubat candy. According to my calculations, Crobat will not be that great because Crobat was known for its speed, and speed is very undervalued in Pokemon Go. So Pokemon that were fast are usually are not that great in Pokemon Go. That's why a lot of electric Pokemon which were fast in Generation 1 in-game are not that good in Pokemon Go, because speed was an undervalued stat in Pokemon Go compared to HP, which is a very overvalued stat in Pokemon Go. So get Crobat for your Pokedex, but I wouldn't advise fighting with him because under the current calculations, it won't be that great. Next one is Chauncey. So Chauncey has the evolved form Blissey in Generation 2. And if you know Chauncey has a lot of HP. You see, 307. However, Blissey, the evolved form, has more HP than Chauncey. Like, Chauncey's a strong rock, but Blissey is a thick mountain, yeah? Thick mountain. So Chauncey has the evolved form Blissey, which has more HP than Chauncey. It's not that good attacking wise or anything, but it has a lot of HP, so you can just leave it in the gym and it'll be very annoying to take down. I'll tell you that now. Next one, Onix. This is the one I've wanted to talk about for a bit. Onix has the evolved form Steelix, and Steelix is a steel type. So a lot of people said they use Steelix in game. I personally feel that they're lying, because Steelix is absolute trash. Steelix is slow, hasn't got the base HP, it hasn't got the best attack, it's just defensively strong, and the most common type in game is water and also fire. Those are one of the most two common types in game, and those are two of his weaknesses. So anyone else that they use Steelix is probably lying to you, because Steelix is trash. I still advise saving up candy. I'd advise between 50 to 100 because it's just a second evolution, but I'll say about 50 to 100 candy for Steelix because it's going for the Pokedex, but I don't think it'll be a good one for battle. It's just defensively capable, but not very attacking. So here we have it, guys. We have Eevee. One of my favorite Pokemon in Generation 2 is Espeon, and that's the evolved form of Eevee in Generation 2. Eevee has another evolution in Generation 2, which is Umbreon. So Espeon's a psychic type, and Umbreon's a dark type. And according to my calculations, Espeon and Jolteon have similar base stats. So under the formula used by Niantic in Pokemon Go, Espeon will be quite useless because it will be very similar to Jolteon. So Espeon won't be used. I don't think Espeon will be able to be used that much in Pokemon Go if they keep the same formula, which should be unfortunate because, as I told you guys before, Espeon was fast, but it didn't have the greatest HP, which is very similar to Jolteon. Also, Espeon's quite a strong special attacker, but its attack is very weak because it's psychic. So as we know in Pokemon Go, mixed attackers such as Arcanine and Executor are much better than singular attackers such as Espeon, which specializes in special attack. Under my calculations, Espeon won't be that great in Pokemon Go, which is a bit upsetting because it is one of my favorite Pokemon. I will go into it in a more detail in a separate video if you guys want to see that. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section below, because it is quite complex, so I would legit have to sit down with you guys and go through it step by step. But under my calculations, I can let you guys know now that Espeon won't be that great in Generation 2 if they use the same formula as they do in Generation 1. Just letting you guys know. But save up candy. I say probably same on 25 candy to evolve them into Espeon and Umbreon. But I've got bag of candy, as you can see. Next one we're going to talk about is Cypher. So Cypher has the evolution of Sizzle or Caesar in Generation 2. And the difference is it's going to be Bug and Steel. So they brought in Steel types in Generation 2. Initially, when the first Pokemon games came out, Magnemite was not Steel, he was just Electric. But now Magnemite is still when they progress into the next generations. But Generation 2 is when they officially did bring the Steel type Pokemon. And Sizzle is one of the first ones, and Sizzle is quite strong in game. However, under my calculations, Sizzle will be underpowered because Sizzle has a strong physical attack. If you know what physical attack is, it's more like attacks where you physically touch the opponent. So stuff like punches, kicks, or like dynamic punch, karate chop, brick break, flipping fire punch. Those are physical attacks. Special attacks are more like psychic, ice beam, fire blast. Sizzle was a strong physical attacker, and since Niantic just take 50% from your attack and 50% from a special attack based on the base stats of Pokemon. So basically this part of the recording messed up, so all I wanted to say is that Sizzle won't thrive in Pokemon Go based on the formula because its base physical attack is 130 and its base special attack is 55. So as you can see, its physical attack surpasses its special attack, but it can't thrive because Niantic take 50% of each stat and combine them together to get your attack stat in Pokemon Go, which is a bit upsetting, but this is common for Pokemon like Alakazam and Gengar, and that's why they don't thrive. So I think Sizzle won't thrive either. That won't be shown in Pokemon Go because it favors mixed attackers over specialist attackers, which we have seen in Pokemon like Alakazam, a specialist attacker. It specializes in special attack. Pinsir, a specialist attacker. It specializes in physical attack. So Pokemon like this will be undervalued unless they change the formula, which I hope they do, because Sizzle should be thriving in next generation, but it won't just because Niantic's calculations for attack are quite poor in this game. But do save candy. I'd advise between 50 to 100 for Sizzle as well. Next Pokemon, guys, is Politoed, which will be Generation 2. You need to save Poliwag candy for Politoed. It goes Poliwag, Poliwhirl, then Politoed. So I'd advise saving about like 100 plus candy for Politoed. Generation 1 had Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. Generation 2 has Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Politoed. Politoed and Poliwrath have similar stats. Statistically, it'll probably be similar to Poliwrath, like strength-wise and that. So if you like Poliwrath, you probably like Politoed as well. They'll probably be equally as strong in both generations. But save up that, because that would be good for your Pokedex in Politoed. One of the low-key mons that were very strong in Pokemon Go was Slowbro. So in Generation 2, you have Slowking. So it goes Slowpoke, then Slowking. So there's either Generation 1 had Slowpoke, Slowbro. Generation 2 has Slowpoke, Slowking. Slowking is quite a strong mon. Once again, since speed is not a big factor in Pokemon Go, HP surpasses speed. It's more valued than speed in Pokemon Go. Slowking will also be quite similar strength to Slowbro. So if you like a Slowbro, you would like Slowking as well. I think they'll be equally as strong, assuming they do keep the same calculations and formula. And the one I've really been waiting for right now as well is Horsey Candy. You guys need to save Horsey Candy for Kingdra, yeah? Kingdra is such a strong mon just because of its typing. It's water and dragon. What beats water and dragon? You tell me. Only two things. Flipping dragon itself and fairy. And there's not many strong dragon type moves in this game. Only Dragonite has Dragon Claw and Dragon Pulse. Also Lapras runs Dragon Pulse as well. A few ones run Dragon Pulse, but it's not a very strong dragon type move. And fairy, there's not many dragon type moves. I think only Vileplume runs Moonblast, which is a strong fairy type move, but then Vileplume wasn't that strong. But Water and Dragon is a very strong type in itself, and under my calculations, Kingdra should be quite a strong mon in this game as well, if they use the same formula. I say this video is under the base to use the same formula for Pokemon Go Generation 2 as they did in Pokemon Generation 1. Finally, last but not least for the evolutions, we have Oddish. So in Generation 2, it went Oddish, Gloom, Bellossom, which is has similar stats to Vileplume, so they're probably equally as strong as Vileplume. So if you like Vileplume, you probably like Bellossom as well. And under the calculations will be the same. So that's another one added to the decks as well. Porygon. Porygon has the evolved form Porygon 2 in Generation 2. So Porygon's not really used for attacking or anything. I don't think Porygon 2 will be used for attacking either. But Porygon 2 is the evolved form of Porygon, and that will be introduced in Generation 2. Porygon is very rare, so it'll be hard to get candy for Porygon. I found one Porygon and I think I've hatched one or two from eggs. But if you do find them Porygons, make sure to catch them because they are rare. And they will be bringing an evolution form in Generation 2. So make sure to save up on them Porygon candies. But that's the segment for the evolutions in Generation 2. Now I'm going to be going into the pre-evolutions and breeding in Generation 2. So without further ado, guys, let's go. Yeah! Firstly, we have one of the fan favorites, Pikachu. Pikachu has a pre-evolution Pichu in Generation 2. So I'd advise, I don't think you really need candy for this one because it's breeding. So I think you need 2 of each of these mons. So get 2 Pikachus so you can breed them and get a Pichu. Makes sense? Get 2 of each one so they breed. And then you get an egg usually, you hatch the egg, and that's usually the pre-evolution. That's usually how it works. So I'd advise getting 2 of all these pre-evolution ones. So I say catch 2 Pikachus ready for Generation 2. So if they do bring in breeding, you have to breed your Pikachu and then get your Pichu, which is the pre-evolution. Next pre-evolution is Clefairy, which is the pre-evolution of Clefairy. Same thing, catch 2 Clefairies. Go Greenwich Park if you have to, because that's quite a good Clefairy spawn. Catch 2 of them. Be ready for next generation because it has a pre-evolution in Clefairy. Next, similar to Clefairy, you have Jigglypuff, and Jigglypuff's pre-evolution is Jigglypuff, which these are already small baby type ones. These are not going to be used for really for like battling or anything. This is ones for your Pokedex, little cute type ones in themselves, and that's just the pre-evolution of Jigglypuff is Jigglypuff. Similar to that, even Electabuzz is a pre-evolution in Elekid. That's the pre-evolution of Electabuzz. So you need to catch 2 Electabuzzes. Similarly to Jinx, which also has a pre-evolution, so catch 2 Jinxes. I know a lot of you guys are like, I hate Jinx. I always get Jinx and eggs. I know everyone has the pain of getting a Jinx and an egg. Make sure to keep at least 2 Jinxes because Jinx has a pre-evolution in Smoochum. So catch the 2 Jinxes you need. I have bags of Jinx candy, but which probably won't be needed for anything, but make sure to catch 2 Jinxes for the pre-evolution. And even Magmar has a pre-evolution in Magby. And similar, these are all just very cute small ones, but will be a good addition to your Pokedex and it give you guys a foot ahead in front of your friends or people who don't know about this in completing your Pokedex in Generation 2. Yeah? Last but not least, the pre-evolution we're going to go through is Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee's pre-evolution. Their pre-evolution is Tyrogue. And Tyrogue has another evolution in Hitmontop in Generation 2. So Tyrogue is the pre-evolution of Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan from Generation 1, and the pre-evolution of Hitmontop, which was introduced in the Generation 2 as well. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if you have to breed 2 Hitmonlees or 2 Hitmonchans or 2 Hitmontops or Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee and a flipping Hitmontop. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's the pre-evolution of Hitmonlee. Hitmonchan is Tyrogue. So just while you can, I'd advise stacking up on Hitmonlees and Hitmonchans because apparently they are quite rare. It did take me a while to find my Hitmonlee, and then I did find one in an egg, and I did find a Hitmonchan quite quickly actually, but they are quite rare at the same time. But if you do find one, make sure to catch it because you'll be able to breed it. You should be able to breed it to get its pre-evolution in Tyrogue for Generation 2. So that's it, guys. I tried to cover all the Pokemon I possibly could think of and researched for Generation 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative for you guys. If you have any feedback, let me know in the comment section below. If you want me to do a separate video using my calculations to calculate which Pokemon will be strong in Generation 2 using the formula Niantic used for Generation 1, let me know in the comment section below. I will do a separate video for that. But yeah, like I said, I'm a bit upset about that because under the current formula, Pokemon such as Espeon won't be that great and Sizzle won't be that great as well, and they were great in game. So it's a bit upsetting that they'll be great in game and won't be great in Pokemon Go. And I really want you guys to experience Espeon at its full potential because Espeon is one of the Pokemon I actually love. Kingdra will probably still be strong just based on its mixed attack capabilities, but specialist attackers such as Espeon specializing in special attack and Sizzle specializing in physical attack, it won't thrive the way it should, so I'm a bit upset about that. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a bit different today, so kind of a sit down, talk to you guys, be a bit more informative to you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy here, the boy, DilzOnline, aka the Black Gary Oak. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good evening, guys. God bless and safe far. Yeah!